When I was working a job that required a lot of driving, it completely opened my eyes to how people just can't drive anymore. And while researching this topic, I realised that it is not just me. So many people are encountering really dangerous behaviour on such a frequent basis that it's basically become the norm. I feel like a huge contributor to this is the rise of social media and technology in people's lives and how addicted people are to it.
I got driving instructor on phone. Well done.
So much so that although the two should never meet, they frequently do, and people aren't able to even make a drive and get to their destination without some sort of distraction, some sort of technology, some sort of validation. They can't put that phone down. The amount of people I see on their phones while driving, just like the norm, or checking something quickly and putting it down, or just having it there and looking down at it, it's a constant distraction in people's lives. People seem to think that driving is an activity that can be multitasked. So you'll see combinations of driving while eating, driving while putting on makeup, and don't even get me started on streaming or making TikToks while driving. Social media can't stop. Just because you've got somewhere to get to, the social media cannot stop.
Hit me, baby, one more time!
Somewhere along the line, people seem to forget that they are driving a huge, dangerous piece of machinery and they're in charge of it. And that huge responsibility is taken so for granted now. It's like people think they're living in some sort of video game, some sort of Disneyland. People don't even consider their own safety, so of course they're not going to consider others.
Driver was filmed using her phone behind the wheel. Seconds later, she killed a young woman in a devastating crash. Molly Mycroft was driving at 78 in a 40-mile-per-hour zone and ignored the traffic light that had been red for 6 seconds. She pleaded guilty to death by dangerous driving and seriously injuring 2 others.
And I think they're just so on the online world all the time that their sense of reality is so warped. They don't even throw the consequences to the wind. It's that the consequences don't even come into their heads, and they don't think forward either. It's not, oh, what could happen if I do this? It's just here and now, whatever I want, I can do. Doesn't matter about anybody else. It's only me. I'm the main character. I'm the only one that matters. Me first. We're driving amongst a plague of distracted drivers, and it's not just the phones, the social media. It's also these new cars and how they are built with all this inbuilt technology that actually serve to distract people even more. I mean, you look at the inside of these cars and it's like a big mobile phone, and people just are attracted to the bright lights, it seems. They're constantly looking at these big screens or tapping on these big screens. It's given them their phone fix while they're driving, even if they are courteous enough to put their phone away. They've got what is essentially a huge phone, a phone on steroids, sitting right in front of their eyes, distracting them. Same goes for the inbuilt features where people become so complacent and dependent on these inbuilt technologies that their driving skills just get worse and worse as time goes on. All this flashing and beeping and things flashing up on the dashboard doesn't do any justice for people who are already chronically distracted. And we're seeing some crazy behaviour on the road these days. I also think that people are so frazzled from the way we live nowadays and so burnt out, or they're just constantly on the go with short attention spans, that this just becomes so apparent in their driving behaviour. I've never seen so many cars on the road for one thing. That's stressful in itself. But also, so many people are in a rush to go nowhere. They've got so little precious time, I think, because of the way we work and live, that fast-paced lifestyle, that driving is seen as such an inconvenience and something just to get over it with as quickly as possible. And people basically see themselves as the only person that matters on the road. Courteous driving doesn't seem to be a thing anymore. It's every man for themselves. But along with being so exhausted, how can you possibly concentrate on the road and driving, which is such a dangerous activity inherently? How can you possibly give it your full attention? It seems like 90% of drivers are just mentally checked out. In fact, a lot of people will drive somewhere and completely forget, oh, how did I even get here? And that is so concerning when your life is basically in the hands of the people driving around you. This stress and being frazzled and having so little free time leads on to such impatient driving. Never have I seen so many people in such a rush to go nowhere. So many behaviours have become an everyday occurrence that it's like a game of Super Mario Kart, who can get there the quickest. To save the length of this video, I'm not going to talk about road rage. I think that deserves a video on its own. You've got people overtaking at the most dangerous opportunities without thinking even 5-10 seconds in front of them. Who knows who could be coming around the corner, but who cares? I want to get there 2 seconds quicker. So they'll overtake on blind corners, on slow roads. It doesn't matter. If there's a space, a gap, they'll take it. Running through amber lights used to be a thing, but now it's morphed into running through red lights. The red light seems to only matter after about 3 seconds, but anything before that is fair game, and it's like a challenge. They'll just speed through it, and the amount of collisions and near misses that happen is insane. This is a major part of the congestion as well nowadays. Everybody seems to rush through a red light right to the very last minute, and then they'll turn and block entire roads so nobody can get past them because there's another red light and traffic is at a standstill. But as long as they got through that red light, they won that little challenge. They don't care, they'll just sit there. Roundabouts are another challenge for these crazy drivers. The speed that people come up to them now. We were always taught to slow down, going down gears as you approach the roundabout or as you approach a stop. But now it's how close can I get before I have to stop, or how far can I travel without stopping? It's like everything is a game. So you've got people speeding through these roundabouts in front of you. You've got people switching lanes on roundabouts, or you've got people that don't even realise there is a roundabout and just go straight through it. I don't know how people can overtake with such confidence. It's just something I would never ever risk. People are so impatient. They can't even be stuck behind a normal car going the speed limit. So God forbid they get stuck behind a tractor or a learner driver. Country roads used to be the worst place for dangerous overtaking, but now I'm seeing it everywhere. It's like we're living in a world where one-way streets are optional, red lights are green, mirrors are a waste of time, and your car is an extension of your living room, so just do whatever you want in there. Just have fun. Driving's boring, so might as well make it exciting. The opposite problem of people speeding like maniacs is the car zombies that you see. There's people who just tiddle around like there's nobody else on the roads. They're so slow, and then they'll go fast, but then they'll be indecisive. They don't know where on earth they're going. Or sometimes it seems like they're on a sightseeing tour. It's the same with merging onto the highway, which is such a dangerous time as a driver. You've got people just crawling along like ants, even though surely they know that the people on the road they're joining are going at a much faster pace. It's like they don't understand you need a build up to that speed. Or you've got the people who do speed up, so you speed up behind them, and then suddenly they just break. They've got that nervousness, or their spatial awareness is malfunctioned. There's such a huge number of hesitant and nervous drivers on the road now, and they are a cause of so many accidents. It's very difficult to be behind them. And even if you do try and leave a space when you know it's a bit of an uncertain driver, you're guaranteed that somebody's just going to steal that space. It's nigh on impossible to keep a safe distance now. A gap is seen as, oh, there you go, after you. Anybody who wants it just takes it. And then you'll try and get a gap behind them, the same thing happens again. It's a joke. Parking is another animal altogether, and it's really concerning to see how people have become so unaware of their surroundings, lack of spatial awareness, and also it seems like people's eyesight is so messed up now. And I'm talking as somebody with terrible eyesight. I have glasses, but it's beyond that. I feel like being on phones and screens constantly must be doing something to our eyesight that we don't know the consequences of yet. Because I've never seen so many people, even with glasses, with terrible eyesight, no peripheral vision, no spatial awareness. It's so bizarre to watch people doing something that should be a simple, everyday maneuver, and it's just, they can't. They can't do all these little actions all together to do this one simple task. It's just too much for them. Their brains just seem to be in a very lagging state. People's reaction time too. I've seen no end of almost people in a delay of a few seconds. I don't know if this makes sense. It's like when they're coming up to the roundabout, their brain is a few seconds behind. So they'll suddenly have to stop. Or if they're reversing, they know they need to stop, but the reaction time in their brain is that few seconds behind. So by the time they stop, they've already hit the car they were trying to avoid. People's sense of reality and critical thinking and their sense of danger has been so messed up, like a lot of things in life. And I think comparing how the world of the road is compared to the world when you're just out walking about the streets, going into grocery stores, it's very, very similar. You'll see similar chaos, similar behaviours, people just bumping into things, people bumping into each other, people distracted at all times, not aware of life going on around them, not interested in the needs of other people around them, even just to get by. People blocking doorways and exits, unable to cross roads without looking up from a screen, not even seeing the things happening around them, even if they are looking. There'll be a car coming and they'll just step out in front of it. And all of this behaviour is so similar to how life is now on the roads and why driving is so dangerous and stressful now. I just find it so stressful. I used to enjoy going for a drive through the countryside, just going for a drive to clear your head, listening to some music. And now I avoid it like the plague. Despite me trying my best to be a courteous, very careful driver, it was like everybody around me, their mission was to prevent that. I don't want to put my life in the hands of all these crazy people around me. Seemingly every day there would be multiple instances of near misses and just absolute stupidity beyond belief. And it's just getting worse and worse. I'm wondering what on earth the tests are like nowadays. It's now normalised that everybody drives. I feel like before, not everybody did drive, and public transport was a lot better and more affordable and accessible. People have also normalised having multiple cars per household. So we've got everybody and their dog on the roads, which naturally increases the risk of an incident and adds to all this crazy congestion, more stressed drivers, so many more cars on the road, which exacerbates the stress levels of already stressed drivers. Each generation that comes to the age of joining the driving scene is more impacted by social media, technology, and phones while growing up. So it's normalised for them. It's maybe more normalised behaviour, which is why it scares me to think that each generation that goes by, we're going to have more and more TikTok, social media, brain frazzled, brain rot people driving on the roads.
So your boy Ed got a new whip. You're gonna die. Oh shit!
And I'm not saying it's just young people that do this behaviour, but I'd say it's probably more common with them. I feel like reality is being so warped by the online world that nobody is taking into consideration how dangerous these everyday tasks are. Driving a car, you're in charge of everybody around you's life. Your little silly decisions can cost somebody their entire world, or you, of course, your world. But they seem to think they're completely impervious to it. It couldn't possibly happen to them. So to summarise and not have this video go on forever, I think that this crazy driving is caused by a combination of people being distracted mostly by technology, but also the technology doing something to people's brains, reaction times, spatial awareness, their eyesight even. Add to this our work culture and constant grind, hustle, go, go, go. That has people very impatient, very in fast mode, and they see it as a challenge to get every task in their life over as quickly as possible. Add to this our very individualistic society and our me first attitude. This shows so clearly on the roads where people don't really see the other people in the cars around them as people. They just see them as nuisances, annoyances, competition. I also wonder if our diets and the fact that there seems to be a lot more people on all sorts of medication is adding to this crazy driving. A lot of people also seem to get a lot of gratification from almost having a power trip. You know, I'm in charge on the roads, or they're showing off to their friends, showing off to other drivers around them that they'll never even see again. They just need this constant validation, this look at me. And it's so embarrassing that because they can't get that from their phone and their social media for a moment, they need to get that dopamine hit from the people around them. It's such a shame that driving has been so ruined for many people, and it's a real sign of this crazy modern world that even driving isn't safe from it. Driving now feels like a scroll through a real life Instagram or TikTok. But I'd love to know, how is driving where you are? Have you noticed changes as well? And how are you navigating it? Are you not driving as much, or are you navigating through this metaverse much better than I am? Thanks for watching.